Yo, let's talk about the Vesper boss and this new Deadly Assault lineup. I haven't talked about it much. I haven't been talking about a lot of endgame stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I've just been playing them, so like that. Recently, Lynn made a post, and I really agreed with Lynn Zero. If you haven't seen that post, pretty much talking about taking a break from Zenless. I'm not taking a break. I always play a game. Sometimes I don't, like a little upload, like break and stuff like that. But anyways, unimportant. Talking about this Deadly Assault here, talking about the Discordant boss, what I think about it, and some tips and stuff like that for the boss here. So I was able to get 24k with my Alice, Vivian, Yuzaha team here. I'm pretty sure I could get maybe more if I, just like do a bunch of runs, keep running it, keep running it, keep running it. I can probably get like maybe 26, 27k. I have no idea. But one of the big things for this boss, I think a lot of people are doing wrong because they're used to other bosses and how you fight them, is one, this boss, even though it says an anomaly boss, the way you're supposed to play it is like an attacker boss. You really want to save a lot of your resources for the stun window, and you want to make sure you're not burning like big attacks during the fight like you would normally do in a anomaly boss. Sometimes during anomaly bosses you can kind of just like spend your stuff whenever during the fight and then have like a little bit during the stun window and still come out with a successful run. But you can't really do that with Vesper because a lot of your damage is going to be coming from that stun window. Another huge thing is having Ether Veil. Now, I personally didn't play with Ether Veil. I'm not a big fan of Ether Veil, how the mechanic is like shield to, and just how the mechanic is in the game right now. Because Ether Veil, when we first got it, I was like, okay, Lucia has this as like a rupture buff, or maybe Lucia is the only one who's going to have this or something like that. And then we got another character with Ether Veil. It was Zhao, and I was like, okay, we have another. And now we have a bunch of stuff in the game that is Ether Veil. We have Ether Veil dedicated buffs. We have Ether Veil buffs again. We have like shield defense that's Ether Veil. We have a boss that's Ether Veil. They're really pushing this Ether Veil before we go into 3.0 with whatever mechanic that is. I'm hoping 3.0 just blows away Ether Veil. I mean, realistically, it's just going to get replaced by another mechanic, but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Ether Veil. But yeah, a big thing about this boss is using your stuff, your resources efficiently, and burning them in the stun window. Now, these are unsuccessful runs, but I want to talk about, a little bit of a learning experience, because this is when I was like first learning the boss. It was like my first like 2 runs or something like that, and I was doing it. Um, but yeah. Oh, another big thing, obviously, is the control skill. You have to make sure you don't miss out on the control skill. If you lose out on a shutdown, you lose out on a big amount of points. Even if you can miss out, I think a lot of people don't know this too. You shouldn't do this, but if you are just going for a clear, you can miss out on a shutdown, as far as I know, and still get all the performance points. Because I did that in a run, or get hit at least during like the because the way this boss's shutdown works compared to other bosses, usually it's like Wandering Hunter, for example, right? If you fail Wandering Hunter's one mechanic, you have to reset, right? You don't land the parry, or if you don't find the Lucia thing, right? You just lose all the points. But this is, it adds up, similar to how disorders add up on the notorious Dead End Butcher. So you can have bits and part of the control skill, but you'll lose out on the knockdown points, right? So that's a huge thing. You want to make sure you're not missing out on this editing thing. So yeah, I think I was talking this, but also I recommend having the music on if you're fighting this boss. I'm not gonna lie, I was playing with no music. I felt like I
If
was
you get
missing
hit
out.
at all, do you have to reset?
Yeah, this is what I was learning about the boss. I thought this was a control skill. Like, I was completely clueless on the fight. Um, Another thing too, I don't know if anybody else been having this. I've been lagging a lot in Deadly Assault. It's been kind of easing up now. Usually there's always new patch lag, but I was lagging like days after the patch, which was really annoying. So I don't know if anyone else had that. Let me know. But yeah, like I was saying, big thing about this boss is saving your stuff, saving your resources and stuff like that. Like, I'm lagging right here. I don't know if you can really tell, but there is definitely some lag going on here. So I go here. See this ult right here? I'm not going to get another ult, so using this ult right here is bad. You can go for like a 2 to 3 EBA stun with Alice, and that'll do more than using it outside of the stun and then trying to get some decibels for like in the stun,
I have 5k points at 130.
Now, if you are able to get a second ult, so let's say you ult at like 50 days and you do another ult at 100 days, like in the stun window, because you got enough decibels, you could do that. But most of the time at like 70, you're not going to get another ult. So
Good damage.
I reset it because score is bad, stuff like that. But yeah, big thing, parrying the boss, knowing about the attacks. Another huge thing is you don't always need to parry Vesper. Now, while you are looking for stun windows, dodge countering can give you more points sometimes, depending on when you're doing the dodges. Because if you're always doing parries, right, but you're not going to get another stun, then doing the dodge counter, that's going to give you more build-up and more damage overall. So I was looking here, going into running stuff. We're seeing when I got into the stun window here, what ended up happening. Let me see. Lots of lag, like I was saying. Did I get the control skill on this run? Yeah, like right here, I should be saving this EBA. Pretty much. I should be saving that EBA. Like I said, I've already cleared this. I got my 24K. I'll probably go for it. That was another thing. I don't know if that's my mouse or the game. I don't know what it is. You see, I was going here for a full EBA. Or it was up here. It was after this. I was about to go for a full EBA, and instead, I just did, like, one stack, which is really bad. Because Alice is not like Miyabi, where you can, like, min-max your stacks and be like, oh, I'm going to do a charge level 1 right here, because I'm going to get a charge level 3 later. So let me not waste this charge level 1. You do that, Alice is just a brick, you know what I'm saying? But was it right here? Yeah, right here, look. I was trying to do 3. Oh, is it not it? I don't know where it was, but you did just see it. Was it after then? Let me see. Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there.
Also, it's lagging so bad, it's holding down M1 for...
I don't know if that's my mouse or the game, I'm not gonna lie. That was really annoying, though, while I was doing the runs. Talking about Vesper, though, I feel like this fight is really fun. A lot of people have been complaining about, like, the aggressiveness and stuff like that. I feel like that's the wrong thing to complain about. I actually like when the bosses are, like, actively attacking you and stuff like that. I think one thing, though, I feel like if you're going to have a bunch of cinematic stuff during the fight, you should be able to pause the timer during the super cinematic stuff. Or make it so the damage amount for you successfully completing the cinematic stuff is way higher. Because you do, like, what when you get a knockdown on the boss here? Let me see. Where's the control skill at? Right here. So after this control skill, let me see how much I get, too. Got a gamer. Okay, so a shutdown. I didn't pause it fast enough. Hold up. So a shutdown here, you get, what is that? 4.5 million damage. I feel like you could get more. I don't know. For not being able to attack the boss at all. Now, she does do multiple shutdowns, right? And this does, like, stun her for a little bit so you can do damage. But I feel like the shutdown could do more for you not being able to attack at all. I don't know. I feel like there's a mid-ground they could find with it. Another really bad thing about Vesper, too, I feel like Vesper... Wrong tab here. Vesper should not have resistances. I'm not going to lie. She is ice only to counter Miyabi, and then for some reason she has fire resistance, like Bernice is like some like Thanos god or something that they need to counter. I don't know why they have a fire resistance on Vesper. It makes no sense. But yeah, just to reiterate, 2 big things about Vesper that are important. Ether Veil for the buffs. You get build up, you get damage. Make sure you're hitting your control skills, and make sure you're utilizing your resources in the stun and just throughout the fight correctly, because that will help you do significantly more damage on clearing the boss there. A lot of people, they're used to, you know, playing normally, just spamming and mashing and stuff like that. But this boss, you have to actually, like, know when you're spending your resources and spend them correctly to actually get the clear. Yeah, but besides that, this is kind of all I want to talk about. Get a video out talking about this new DA, even though it's a little bit late, and most people have probably done this DA, so no one cares anymore. But I want to talk about it because she's probably going to be in the next DA anyways, and I'll make one more timely, hopefully, when that new Deadly Assault comes out. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, you know, like, sub, all that good stuff, and